I feel like this year there haven't been any great Christmas movies. I don't know. I remember like last year when I did my ranking of the Christmas movies video, I felt like that year, like at least on Netflix, but also generally, there were a lot of like Christmas movies coming out that weren't like total shit. But this year, everything I've seen so far has just been total shit. And as a result of it, I'm not really in the Christmas spirit yet, which is sad because Christmas is in like a few days. And I'm like, where's the magic? Where's the Christmas spirit? Might also just be though because I don't have my family around me and I have nothing decorated for Christmas. I just am now realizing again that I have a cupboard open in the background, but today I won't budge. I'm just gonna leave it open because my cupboards are always open. I'm sorry. Before I started to record this, I actually did like a little bit of a cleanup and just threw things out that I didn't need anymore. And I realized that I've been living here like in Tokyo for 3 months now, and things just naturally accumulate. Do you know this? Like you try to be like minimalistic and look at what you buy and don't try to hoard things, but somehow I always end up having more things than I actually use. And then when I open up my cupboard and look in the back of it, I'm like, wait, where did this come from? Oh yeah, I bought this once. Wait, I never used this again, you know? That kind of thing. And also like a lot of food supplies that I haven't used up yet, and I'm like, maybe I want to move actually next year. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should like try to use up the things that I can use up and just get rid of the things that I don't need, because moving with everything will just be a hassle anyway. So I might just make it easier on myself and own just like as little things as possible, because the more you own, the harder it always is to move everything. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to use half of the shit that I own. So yeah, that's why I really am in love with the thought of minimalism, even though I'm not the best at actually pushing through with the thought in my real life, I guess. And with that, welcome to the podcast. I feel like we've changed topic 3 times in the last 20 seconds. But today is going to be a chatty one because this is actually the last podcast of the year, if I like calculate correctly. Let me see. Thursday might be the last or the second to last podcast of the year. Anyway, I mean, it's been an eventful one, and it's like 2022 is nearly over and I can't believe it. Like, time is really going by faster each year. Like, people always say when they're older, they're like, oh, time always goes by faster the older you get. And I never believed it, but I think that's actually a true saying. I think the older you get, the faster time will fly. And honestly, I don't know where this last year went. And at the same time, I know what this last year went, because it feels like I've lived 3 years in one, just with the amount of things that were happening, the amount of changes I've gone through. And I mean, just the fact that I've basically moved country and I'm living here now, and just so much has happened in between. I don't know, there's been a lot, I guess. Back to the Christmas topic though. I haven't bought any Christmas decorations because it would be a waste. I mean, I won't be here next Christmas, and to buy stuff just to throw it away again, I guess isn't really the vibe. And also my share house hasn't been really Christmassy up until now. I went down earlier and they actually set up a little Christmas tree at the entrance now. It's like a plastic thing with glowy light bulbs, but it's very, very festive and I love it. It's so kitsch, but I love it because it's the first Christmassy thing in the house. And I'm like, we've got a Christmas tree. This is so great. And also I've just been trying to eat up all of my Christmas cookies that I've baked and like share them with everybody, because like Christmas is also about sharing it with others, I guess, and just the spirit of coming together as like a family. And even if I don't have a family here, I still have friends, and I guess it's about reaching out as well, like getting out of yourself and my own little bubble, where I sometimes can be like a bit too restricted and start feel lonely and get into my head a little bit too much. It's easier if I just take my box of cookies and go downstairs and be like, who wants cookies? Or like, I'm gonna do the same thing in a lot of my classes this week. I've baked like a bunch of cookies for each of my not lessons, each of my subjects, I guess, and I'm gonna bring them, and I hope that way I can get a little bit into the festive spirit. Because like, I remember when my grandma would come over when I was smaller, and she would always bring this cookie jar, because my grandma would always be the one to bake cookies at home, and she's one of those German grandmas that will still do like all of the cookies, like the whole range. That's not just like one butter cookie or something. No, she would do like 10 different kinds of cookies, and you would always have your favorite and try to get to like the cookie box first, so that you could always eat your favorites before like your family would get to them. But then also we always seem to have like the same favorites, so the same favorites would always be like gone first. They were always like these chocolate nougat like cookies, I guess, and then we would only be left with the butter cookies, because these were like the last things that were left. Also, we would always have a lot of like leftover Stollen, because I'm not particularly, or at least I wasn't particularly a Stollen fan when I was smaller, and my dad was neither, and neither was my brother. My mom was the only one who would always eat the Stollen. And yeah, we'd always have a bunch of Stollen. I remember like when Christmas was nearly coming to an end and the cookie box was empty, but there was still Stollen left over, and my mom would be like, okay, everybody, we're gonna sit down and have tea or coffee now and eat Stollen. I don't know. Looking back at it right now, I'm just jealous of that time because I want Stollen right now. I would take a Stollen right now because it's just so far out of my reach that I would take anything that would have like bring me a little bit more of a Christmas cheer, I guess. I've eaten all of my Lebkuchen that she sent me, like my mom sent me already. I only have a little bit of marzipan left over that I kept, that I'm like, okay, you can't eat up everything Christmassy before Christmas. You need to keep something. Like, even if you're not gonna have a Christmas, like, whole dinner or something, you just need to have something Christmassy on Christmas itself, right? So yeah, I don't actually know what I'm gonna cook on Christmas yet or where I'm gonna be on Christmas yet. Like, there's no concrete plans, which is what's making me feel a little bit anxious as well because I'm scared of spending Christmas alone. And I don't think it's gonna happen because before that would happen, I would actually put myself out there forcefully and just, even if it would make me anxious, ask somebody, hey, is it okay if I just spend Christmas with you? I don't want to like be alone. I guess now that like two of my best friends who I've found here have already gone home, they have already left Japan, I've just realized again that it's so easy to be in your own head and in your own like habits of the day and forget that you actually need to communicate with other people. I'm really, really bad at communicating with other people. Not like in a way where if they're in front of me, then of course, yes, that's no problem for me, I guess. But I'm also bad at holding connections like over long distance things. Like, I'm so bad at writing you back on WhatsApp. I could make a whole episode about how I fucking hate messaging. I don't know why. I'm just bad at it. I hate it. And to me, there's no really like reason to really keep. Oh, right. I mean, I love all of my friends at home. I love them so much, and every time we really, really write, or it just happens that I'm on my phone once and we are connecting, it's always fun. But I just am so bad at it, and I feel so bad as well because I hope they don't think I forget them or I hate them. It's just that I hate messaging. I don't know. And the same happens here sometimes. And when you friends, like, I had the same thing happen to me in Ireland when I was there as an au pair. I remember like two of my very, very closest friends who I've done like everything with, I love them so much, they left 3 months before I did leave. And that was a moment in time where I was like, wait, do I not have any friends right now? And it's not that bad here yet, but I've come to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna download Bumble again because I need to put myself out there. Because one thing you have to realize if you're abroad by yourself is that you are the only person who can make friends. It's not up to the other people to approach you. Like, you can't imagine like sitting in class and everybody would come up to you and try to be friends. You need to be proactive if you want to have friends. And that is sometimes hard to realize and hard to do because it's also a hassle to always go through the same small talk topics with somebody new. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be alone and I want to make experiences with other people. So I have started to put myself out there again. I'm on Bumble Friends again. I'm like writing with people and it's making me actually very happy. And also I have like a few friend dates set up throughout the week, this Christmas week. I was like actively messaging people who I haven't done that much stuff with, but I was like, hey, do you just want to hang out maybe and do this fun thing? Or do you have something that you want to do? We could do something together. And a few of them actually replied. And so yeah, I'm feeling much more positive in a way. I guess this is maybe like my feeling or my Christmas spirit that I have nowadays is that I'm trying to be very positive about everything that I approach. And this past week and this week, so far, I've been in very high spirits. Like, I've managed to keep my positivity level up here, even if not everything has always gone right. And if there have been down moments, I have consistently kept this up here. I'm like, I have a lot of energy again that's coming back to me. And I'm very excited for Christmas time as well because I've actually also booked like a hostel and a few journeys that I want to do. Because when I was in this mindset of like, oh, I don't have anybody, I was like, okay, time to travel again. I mean, you're not bound by anything and you have like a little bit of holiday in between the like New Year's and Christmas before I have to go to university again. So why not travel? I mean, you're here to see things as well. It's one thing I always forget when you're in the daily grind, that I'm actually here to actually sightsee as well. And I haven't done that much sightseeing yet or traveling yet. So I booked a hostel in like a very small seaside town near Tokyo, near Hakone as well, where I can go into Hakone if I want to, because I still want to do that onsen thing, and it's gonna happen this Christmas. Okay, it's gonna happen this year still. So I found an onsen that actually allows you in with tattoos, because I do have a few tattoos on my arm. Like, there's only one, but it's enough that I've been declined at a few places and sent to places as well already. So I've really looked up places that do actively allow people with tattoos in, so I won't run into the same problem again. And then I've booked a hostel room because I love, actually, it's of course cheapest. I mean, I try to save money still, especially now that I want to stay here longer. I mean, the money also got to keep longer. And B, I feel like in hostels you always connect with people as well. I feel like anytime I've slept in a hostel, I've made one friend at least. And it's just a fun atmosphere because you're never really truly alone. You always have these people. And if I were to just book myself a hotel room, sure, that might be like a, oh, staycation or you for yourself or something. And it might be very fun as well. But I feel like I would turn to a total traveling hermit crab then and not actually meet other people. And I mean, I always say that I have social anxiety, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to make friends. I mean, everybody loves to connect, and I think it's a very human thing, and it's very necessary for humans to connect with each other. So that's why, even though it's always hard for me, I actively try to do these small things or these small changes in my daily life that make me connect with other people, because I know it's very important for me and for my well-being and happiness as well. Okay, back to the first topic. Christmas movies. Where have they gone? Like, Netflix, everything you've put out this year has been more than disappointing. It's just been shit. I'm gonna flat out say it. It's the worst Christmas movies I've seen so far this season. What is going on? Also, like, I've watched this Italian show, which I wanted to like, but it's just been bad as well. And I don't know. The Italian show was called Oddio il Natale, I think. I mean, it was at least good Italian practice again as well. Also, fun fact, I'm trying to sit in center right now for the whole podcast because after the tea ceremony experience, I realized that I'm really bad at sitting for a long time, especially if my like feet are under my, the center sitting way, because my feet fell asleep just so quickly. And I was like, okay, I guess it's something to do with practice and patience. So I'm gonna practice and patience my center now, because I definitely do want to do another tea ceremony. And if I ever were to do like a real tea ceremony, which is gone on for like a few more hours, I would have to sit in center for a few hours. I can't do that if after 10 minutes my legs fall asleep and I feel like I'm dying downstairs. It's not that bad yet, but I feel my legs right now falling asleep again. I'm like, it's a mind exercise. You gotta get through it. It's practice. I've gone off topic again. This one is really a chatty one. I guess now that the year is ending, I feel like there's always a lot of emotions coming up where you're like, okay, I've said it before, I don't necessarily like the idea of New Year's resolutions, because I feel like if you want to do something, you can choose any day of the year to start something that's important to you or to change something in your life that you've been wanting to change. But of course, a new year coming in is always a nice, I guess, opportunity to really reflect on everything, on your year, and maybe make a few wishes or like plans for the next year. So here's been my thoughts on this year so far. I am very proud of myself this year, of everything that I've achieved and I've done. And I can say this with a peace of mind. Like, I am now at a place where I feel like I'm actually getting better as a person and I'm actively changing and not just being in my head and wanting to change. Like, yesterday I've Skyped with my parents and my dad was like, wow, your skin is so great. And it's not like the best skin ever. I'm never gonna have this beautiful porcelain skin that some people have. And I think my skin is sometimes outwardly really a reflection of how I'm feeling inwardly. Like, if I'm stressed or just if there's something that's bothering me, it does show up on my face, or it does tend to show up on my face that way. So just feeling like my hormones are slowly getting into balance again and my whole energy are getting balanced again. And maybe this is like a bit utopical talk, but I feel like there is such a thing as inner energy. And I feel like mine is finally just slowly starting to settle a little bit and come into its own. I mean, I'm still young and I'm still growing up. And even though I always want to be this perfect person, I guess I realize that I'm not, and I'm still young, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to be or to feel like a failure sometimes, as long as you get up and try to just follow your own way and what you think is right for yourself. So that is really what I've been trying to do, and it's hard, but I think it's slowly working. It's just a part of growing up, and I'm finally at a place where I'm not always very hard on myself, and I can finally relax a little bit and just enjoy life as well, I guess. It's still a thing that I proactively want to do the next year as well. I want to get to a place where I can fully enjoy the present moment without always worrying about the future or what will be, because I know things will work out somehow. It's life, and it's an up and down, but ultimately in your life, things will work out in the end. And I truly do believe in that. And I think that's a message I want to send to all of you as well. No matter where you're standing right now in life, if it's like a very shit point and you just feel like, oh my God, this is all too much and everything is dumb and I am dumb. Like, no, it's gonna get better. I mean, it really is. It's just time heals so many things. And with time, there also come new opportunities. And in life, nothing is really ever finished unless you die. And then you're dead. And I guess then it's over anyway. And every one of us will die. That's just a fact. So what we can all do is just to live fully until that point and enjoy and experience everything, the failures and the mistakes, but also the happy moments that will surely come again. That's something I want for next year. I want to travel more. I want to actively try to look into career options or like master options And I want to do my bachelor's next year. Wait, am I going to do it? No, I'm actually going to do it in 2024 if I calculate correctly. But I'm going to start my bachelor's next year. So I guess I want to find a good topic for my bachelor's thesis and be the strongest and the best I can for that. So yeah, if you have Christmas movie recommendations to get back to this topic again, please tell me because I need some. I think I'm gonna just start rewatching my old-time favorites. I'm not gonna watch The Little Lord while decorating Christmas tree this year, but I might still just watch The Little Lord for the sake of it. So yeah, I mean, this year is coming to an end. This podcast is coming to an end. That it doesn't mean that it's all coming to an end because we're gonna see each other next year again. And there are still a few videos that I have to put up before that. Vlogmas is still gonna come to an end as well. I hope you keep going with me until the 24th. It's been a long ride and it's been exciting and hard, but it's yay! I mean, we did it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do Vlogmas fully, and I'm gonna be one of those people who can say, yeah, once in my teenage years I did Vlogmas. It was so cringe, but I guess I did it. So without chatting more, I guess I hope you had a coffee or something with this because this was a long ride and I can't even follow my own thoughts. I just was like, okay, sit down, talk a little bit. I'm gonna go and study Japanese now because that's another thing I want to do this year and next year is get really good at Japanese. I want to get Jozo, like really Jozo. So I'm gonna sit myself down and do that now and find the Christmas spirit this week and keep going with everything because it's going into the right direction. So thank you so much for watching anyway. I wish you a nice day and nice night wherever you are. And as always, bye, be back on my channel. This at the ending was a bit weird. I'm sorry. I guess you can feel right now that I'm very energized, right? So yeah, bye. Gonna study now. Bye.